Hi everyone, I'm John Williams.
And I'm Rory Williams.
And we got a treat today. We're going to try two Zinfandels, our beautiful 2018
and let's see how it tastes, 98 Zinfandel.
98 Zinfandel, 20 years apart in these wines. It's so much fun to try a wine essentially made the same way that it's 20 years of aging. I'm excited.
Which one should we try first?
How about I pour the older one and you pour the younger one?
Okay, you know, Dad, people don't often age their Zinfandels for this long, but we've got this. We've got the 98 ready for people to try.
You know, I just assumed wineries were supposed to put a lot of wine in their cellar. You know, having visited in Europe a lot, and so we always put a lot of wine in the cellar.
This is different than not selling all.
No, it is.
Okay.
It is different. Yeah, we actually did this intentionally with the idea that we can go back.
Dad, this is pretty fabulous stuff. You know, Zinfandel. We'll talk about when we talk about the younger wine. It's this vivacious, absolutely full of life kind of wine, especially when young, but it retains some of that when it gets older.
People get hung up about the idea of aging wine, but really it is this chance to mature and develop and show different sort of characters, but it's not the same as drinking a young wine.
It's not the same. This wine's got some of that forest floor, a little bit of that kind of almost Bordeaux kind of character to it. Really delicious stuff.
In fact, Louis Martini told me once, he says, John, don't let your Zinfandels get old. They start smelling like those damn Bordeaux wines. He couldn't think of anything worse being an Italian.
No way. No worse insult.
But that's exactly what's happening to this. It's absolutely delicious. Now let's try that next to the, will you pour me a little bit of the 18?
I will.
Because this should be a shock, basically. God, I love this vintage, the 18 vintage.
18, a great vintage across the board, a great vintage for Zinfandel, a nice cool year, and really Zinfandel is sensitive to those hot years. Both 98 and 18 actually nice, cool, long vintages. I think it's showing what we love about Zinfandel. We reference the vivaciousness, that vibrancy. This wine is just packed with life and with happiness, and I think that's just the core, the essence of Zinfandel.
You just said Zinfandel right there, man. You just said Zinfandel.
You know, it's a little bit of a time travel in a way, where we get to think about what was happening in 2018 and what was happening in 1998. You know, in 1998, I was in.
You were 14.
I was in middle school, so the world was a little bit different to me back then.
Yeah.
2018, I remember very clearly, is just the reward for 2017 in a lot of ways. Just this beautiful, long, cool harvest, kind of just a absolutely gorgeous, beautiful harvest. What was 98 like?
Well, a lot the same, but if you know, so many vintages in Napa get judged by the Cabernet vintage. And in 98, there was rain well after the Zinfandel, but before the Cabernet was all in, and it didn't develop the same reputation as the 97 and other vintages. I far preferred it because the wines are more elegant, and it was just a long, cool summer. The crop was small, and, you know, but we harvested the 98 later in the vintage. Tremendous amount of nuance. So I've always loved the 98 vintage.
Having these two wines side by side, 20 years of difference between the two wines, and you've got the young, dark, kind of concentrated, super fruity 18 Zinfandel, and then you've got its slightly more buttoned up version in the 98.
I honestly, you asked the question, why would anyone wait on this wine? It's so delicious now. And you just say, why not drink this? It's bubbly, it's fresh, it's fruity, it's wonderful. You can tell they're the same grape. You can tell them they got the same energy, and yet just the development of the aromatic profile in the older wine. 20 years in the bottle, that's extraordinary, really.
The 98, absolutely beautiful with food. Very, you know, when the wine gets older, it gets a little more restrained, a little more subtle, but it still retains that core of juicy fruit, and just it turns into something absolutely delicious and complex and just different. You know, old Zinfandel is something to behold.
Well, I'm fired up. These are exciting.
Cheers.